Hello there, I'm Christian. Welcome back. All right, in this video series, we're looking at how online influencers create eating disorders and how they lie to you as a viewer. We're looking more specifically at Paul Saladino, Eddie Epub, and Mario Rios being some of the worst offenders, if you will, when it comes to spreading misinformation. All right, and creating eating disorders in the process. Well, we're on the fourth red flag right now. The fourth red flag is that if an influencer claims that protein supplements are not healthy, that influencer is lying to you, and you should probably disregard everything that the influencer says. I'm using real-life scientific studies to debunk influencers on this. And this is kind of part two of the fourth red flag because it took longer than I thought. So, looking at the academic literature, we've established that protein supplementation is healthy and beneficial for dialysis patients. It's beneficial for postmenopausal women, and it's beneficial for sarcopenic patients. All right, so the academic literature shows that protein supplementation is helpful and healthy and beneficial for all those groups. Now we're going to look at a little more scientific data on protein supplementation. Okay. So like I said, this is part 6 of the series, and we're still on red flag 4. All right. So let's get back into it. So we're looking at a 2019 randomized control trial. All right. This 2019 randomized control trial was published in Cancer Medicine. Cancer Medicine is an academic journal. All right. In this study, there were 135 cancer patients. That's a lot. All right? 135 cancer patients. And these cancer patients were divided into two groups. The control group received no protein supplementation at all. Okay? The second group received a whey protein isolate during chemotherapy. All right? The study was trying to look at if protein supplementation was beneficial for cancer patients going through chemotherapy. All right? So the group that supplemented with whey protein isolate, they had 2 feedings of whey protein isolate twice a day for 3 months during chemotherapy. All right? Let's look at the results. Oh, and the control group obviously received no protein supplementation at all. Go figure. Anyway, simply put, the study found that the group that supplemented with whey protein isolate benefited during the chemotherapy. All right? In cancer, they have something that's called the phase angle. The phase angle basically predicts if you survive a cancer treatment. All right? So, the group that did not supplement at all with protein, their phase angle either did not improve or it slightly decreased. All right? So the group who did not supplement at all with protein, their phase angle slightly decreased, and therefore their chances of survival also decreased. That's bad. However, the group that consumed whey protein isolate, their phase angle significantly increased. Put another way, the group that supplemented with whey protein isolate, their phase angle increased, which means their chances of survival also increased. All right? So, what this study shows is that cancer patients who consume whey protein during chemotherapy have a higher chance of survival. That's very good news. So, if you have somebody who's a cancer patient, seriously, get them whey protein because it will help them out a lot. It will help them recover faster and help them survive the cancer treatment, which is awesome. Now, I keep going on, but I think you get my point already. All right? All the studies that I cited in this video and the one before, these studies show that protein supplementation is beneficial for cancer patients, it's beneficial for postmenopausal women, it's beneficial for sarcopenic patients, and it's beneficial for dialysis patients. So if very sick people could benefit from protein supplementation, then you, the viewer, absolutely can benefit from protein supplementation. And what the studies show, you should, if anything, supplement with it. So, if you want to drink a whey protein, you want to take a protein drink, a protein bar, whatever, do it. It's healthy for you. The studies prove it. All right? So, the fourth red flag is that if an influencer says that protein supplementation is not healthy, that influencer is lying to you, and you should disregard everything the influencer says. All right? Paul Saladino, Eddie Epub, and Mario Rios all dismiss protein supplementation as unhealthy, yet the scientific literature overwhelmingly shows that protein supplementation is healthy. Thus, because the academic literature shows that protein supplementation is healthy, Paul, Eddie, and Mario are straight up wrong when they say that protein supplementation is unhealthy. They are wrong, and their credibility goes down a lot because of that. All right? One more thing I'm going to point out is that their views on protein supplementation are wrong, but it's not just them, okay? Other so-called health influencers say the same thing, and I'll put a video in the description where a nutrition scientist, Lane Norton, thoroughly debunks a chiropractor who claims that protein supplementation is unhealthy. I'll put that in the description if you want to check that out. And yeah, it's a chiropractor. Are you really surprised? Anyway, one last note while I'm talking about protein supplementation. So Paul and Eddie are already wrong on protein supplementation, but it's actually worse because you see, they're hypocrites on protein supplementation. What I mean by this is that both Paul and Eddie dismiss protein supplementation as being unhealthy, yet they sell protein supplementations in their stores. And I'll put links in the description if you don't believe me. All right? So, Paul Saladino, in at least one video, dismissed protein powder as being heavily processed and therefore unhealthy. However, I should point out that Paul has a supplement store online and he sells protein powder in his store. Wait a minute. That's a little fishy, don't you think? So, on one hand, Paul is saying protein supplementation is not healthy and therefore you shouldn't consume it. But on the other hand, he sells protein powder in his store. So, either Paul knows full well protein powder is safe to consume and he's lying to you when he says it's not safe, or he knows that protein powder is not safe, but he's choosing to sell you an unsafe protein powder. So either he's a liar or he's a scumbag who's putting you in danger. That's bad either way. So Paul's hypocrisy on protein powder pretty much invalidates his whole argument on protein supplementation. And Eddie Epub does the same exact thing. And I'll put this in the description below as well. Eddie has dismissed protein powder as being unhealthy or at best suboptimal for health. However, Eddie sells protein powder in his gym. Eddie owns a gym in England, and his gym sells protein powder. So Eddie, on one hand, is saying protein powder isn't safe, but then he sells protein powder in his gym. So again, either Eddie knows protein powder is safe and he's lying to you when he says it's not, or he genuinely believes that protein powder is not safe, but he chooses to sell an unsafe protein powder at his store, or gym rather. Either way, that's not good. And his hypocrisy on protein supplementation pretty much invalidates his entire argument on protein supplementation. So Eddie and Paul, they're hypocrites on protein supplements, given that they sell protein powder despite being supposedly opposed to it. So, yeah, I think that says all you need to know. Protein powder is safe. Paul and Eddie are hypocrites on protein powder, so you could disregard anything they say about it. They're stupid. Or lying, or both. And regarding Mario Rios, to my understanding, he doesn't sell protein powder, but he dismisses it as unhealthy. Now, like I said before, he dismisses protein powder as being unhealthy, or protein supplementation in general as being unhealthy. So Mario says protein supplements are heavily processed and therefore not healthy, yet he hypocritically recommends eating heavily processed candy before a workout. Yeah, I think that says all you need to know. If it's not okay, going by, I don't believe this, I'm going off of Mario's logic here. If it's totally not okay to consume heavily processed protein, then it also should not be okay to consume heavily processed candy before a workout. But Mario, in his stupidity or dishonesty, recommends consuming heavily processed candy before a workout. So yeah, again, Mario is an absolute hypocrite on protein supplementation, which I think invalidates his whole argument on protein supplementation. So the fourth red flag, so if you want to consume a protein supplement, go for it. It's totally fine. It's healthy, it's fine, and you're going to get real benefits from it. And any influencer who says you should not consume a protein supplement is lying to you, and you should disregard anything that he or she says. So there. Alright, I'll end the video here. I'm Christian, and thank you for watching. On video number, is this 7 right now? Wow, 7, holy cow. On the 7th video, I'm going to discuss the 5th red flag. Alright, red flag number 5 is an all or nothing attitude with regarding to nutrition. So, check that out if you're interested, and thank you for watching. Have a good day, and goodbye.